Rising quietly from the landscape, the Balderstone Viaduct stands as one of the region's most striking reminders of the great age of railway engineering. Stretching across the valley in a rhythmic sweep of arches, it appears almost weightless, yet it has carried the weight of locomotives, industry, and human ambition for more than a century. Constructed in the latter half of the 19th century, the viaduct was built at a time when engineers dared to reshape the land in pursuit of progress. Each stone was placed by hand, lifted into position by craftspeople whose work still speaks through every curve and line of the structure. From a distance, the viaduct's arches frame the landscape like windows, blending industrial strength with a surprising elegance. For decades, trains crossed here daily, hauling coal, supplies and passengers, whose lives were woven into the rhythm of the railway. The viaduct connected rural communities to bustling towns, shortening long journeys and opening new possibilities. Even after the days of steam faded, the structure remained, standing guard over the valley with quiet resilience. Today, the Balderstone Viaduct has become more than a transport link. It's a landmark, a piece of local heritage, and a testament to the enduring drive to build something greater than oneself. Walk across it and you can still imagine the distant chug of engines, the clatter of wheels, the hopeful pulse of an age racing toward the future. And so the viaduct endures, solid, graceful and timeless, carrying not trains but stories and walkers. Hidden among the rolling hills and wooded valleys of West Yorkshire, the Hughenden Viaduct stands as one of the region's most grateful relics of the railway age. Curving gently across the landscape near the village of Cullingworth, its towering stone arches create a sweeping arc that seems to float above the treetops, a perfect blend of engineering precision and scenic beauty. Built in the early 1800s for the Keighley and Thornton branch of the Great Northern Railway, the viaduct was designed to carry trains across the deep Hughenden Valley. At over 1,000 feet long and rising impressively above the ground, it demanded both ingenuity and immense physical effort. Victorian stonemasons shaped and set tens of thousands of blocks, each piece contributing to a structure that had to withstand both the weight of locomotives and the shifting ground of the valley. For decades, steam engines thundered across these arches, carrying passengers, goods and coal between the mills and towns of Bradford and the wider region. The sound of their passage echoed through the valley, an unmistakable heartbeat of an industrial landscape that depended on the railway's reach. But as patterns of travel changed and lines fell quiet, the Hughenden route eventually closed, leaving the viaduct without trains but not without purpose. Today it has found a new life as part of a walking and cycling path, offering sweeping views across the moors and reservoirs. To cross it on foot is to follow the same path once taken by steam locomotives, yet at a pace that lets you absorb the quiet beauty of the valley below. Standing beneath its arches, you can still sense the ambition that drove its construction, the determination to bridge vast spaces and reshape landscapes in the pursuit of progress. And though its rails have long gone, the Hughenden Viaduct remains proud, elegant and enduring, a testament to the skill of the people who built it and the landscape that continues to embrace it. Deep in the rugged heart of Dentdale, where the fells rise sharply and the wind carries the echo of distant water, stands one of the quiet masterpieces of the settled Carlisle Railway, the the Arden Viaduct. Built of dark local stone that blends almost seamlessly with the surrounding hills, it stands as both as a triumph of Victorian engineering and a tribute to the workers who carved it from one of the wildest valleys in the Dales. Completed in the early 1870s, the viaduct rises gracefully across the narrow gorge of Arden Gill. 11 arches carry the railway high above the tunnel beck below, creating a structure that seems to grow from the rock itself, but its beauty masks a harsh history. The men who built it laboured in remote conditions, battling winter storms, isolation, and the sheer difficulty of working on steep, uneven ground. Many lived in camps scattered across the fells, far from towns, relying on grit and endurance to see the railway through. When the first trains crossed Arden Gill, the viaduct became a vital link in a line designed to conquer some of the most challenging terrain in Britain. Steam engines puffed across the arches, carrying goods, mail and passengers through landscapes once accessible only on foot. Today, modern trains still glide over the structure, their silhouettes briefly framed against the sky before disappearing into the quiet distance. To stand beneath Arden Gill Viaduct is to feel both the power of nature and the determination of the people who once carved a railway through it. The wind whistles between the arches, the beck murmurs far below, and in the rhythm of passing trains you can still sense the heartbeat of a line built with ambition, sacrifice and extraordinary skill. The viaduct remains solid, peaceful and enduring, an unbroken thread between past and present, carrying not just trains but the story of human effort sent against one of England's most dramatic landscapes. High on the open moorland between Ingleborough and Mernside, where the wind sweeps unhindered across miles of wild landscape, stands one of the most iconic railway structures in Britain, the Ribble Head Viaduct. Its 24 great arches stride confidently across the valley of Batty Moss, a monumental link in the Settle Carlisle Railway and a lasting symbol of Victorian ambition. Construction began in the early 1870s, but building here was no small feat. The workforce, thousands strong, lived in temporary shanty villages scattered across the moor. They endured bitter winters, fierce storms and the daily danger of working with heavy stone and towering heights. Many lives were lost to accidents and disease, and the small graveyards nearby still bear silent witness to the human cost of driving a railway through such unforgiving terrain. And yet from this hardship a masterpiece emerged. The viaduct rises 100 feet above the valley floor, its arches perfectly spaced, its masonry laid with precision that has withstood nearly a century and a half of weather, war and the constant rumbling of passing trains. There is a symmetry to it, a proud rhythm that seems almost at odds with the rugged wilderness around it, yet somehow completes it. For generations, steam engines battled the climb to reach Ribble Head, their smoke drifting across the moors like a moving cloud. Today, modern trains follow the same path, slowing slightly as if in respect for the structure beneath them. Each crossing is a reminder of the line's resilience, saved from closure in the 1980s by passionate public effort, ensuring the viaduct's story would continue. To stand beneath Ribble Head Viaduct is to feel the scale of both nature and human determination. The wind whistles through the arches, the moor stretches endlessly above it, and above it all the viaduct endures, majestic, weathered and unshakably strong, a monument not just of stone but of perseverance. Stretching for more than a mile across the sweeping fields of the Rutland-Northamptonshire border, the Haringworth Viaduct stands as one of the most extraordinary monuments of Britain's railway age. With 82 red-bricked arches unfurling across the landscape in a gentle, unbroken rhythm, it is the longest masonry viaduct in the country, a masterpiece of Victorian ambition. Construction began in the 1870s when the Midland Railway set out to create a new main line across the Welland Valley. The challenge was immense. More than 20 million bricks were needed to raise the structure. Fired in vast on-site kilns that worked day and night, thousands of labourers lived in temporary camps that sprang up along the valley, braving winter floods, exhausting shifts and hazardous conditions as they wrestled the viaduct from the earth. Slowly, arch by arch, the viaduct grew. Each span was built with meticulous care, its brickwork bonded to withstand both the strain of locomotives and the restless weather of the open countryside. By the time it was completed in 1878, the Haringworth Viaduct stood as a triumph of industrial engineering, an elegant sweep of geometry and power stretching more than 1,275 yards across the valley floor. For decades, the steam engines stormed across its arches, hauling express trains, wartime supplies and the everyday traffic of a nation on the move. Today, though quieter than in its heyday, the viaduct still carries trains, each one a reminder that this structure was built not only to be impressive, but to last. To stand beneath its towering brick piers is to feel both the scale of a Victorian industry and the patience of the landscape that holds it. The arches cast long shadows across the fields. Birds drift through the open spans and into the distance. The rumble of a passing train becomes a momentary echo of history. The Haringworth Viaduct remains majestic, enduring and unmistakable, an unbroken ribbon of craftsmanship that continues to define the valley it crosses.